Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Ji Balaji Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. Dandat, Dandat. So, welcome all for today's Nityam Bhagavata. And today's nectar will be from Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 19, Shloka number 19. Then we'll hear from His Grace, Satcitananda Govind Prabhu. So, over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschat Deshadharini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jadvaita Radhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari यशोधनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोधनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोधनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधमाधव कुंज विहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव ओम तत्सत नाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरुदेव की जय I welcome all of you on this very auspicious day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So today we are going to hear from Canto 5, Chapter 5, text number 19. Can you display, Prabhu?
I'll share, Prabhuji. No problem.
Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Nyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandakopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Govindaya Namo Namaha Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, text number 19. Idam Sariram Mamadur Durvibhavyam Sattam Hime Hridayam Yatra Dharmaha Prishte Kritovi Yat Adharma Arat Adho Hivam Prishabam Pragu Aryaha Idam Sariram Mamadurvibhavyam Sattam Himidayam Yatra Dharmaha Prishte Kritovi Yada Adharma Arat Adho Hivam Rishabam Pragur Aryaha. Can you repeat, Prabhu? Anyone? Devotees?
I'll unmute the lines, Prabhuji, 1 second.
Yeah.
I have unmuted. If anybody wants to chant the shloka, they can.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 19. Idam sariram mama durvibhavyam sattvam hi me hrudayam yatra dharmaha prishte kruto me yat adharma arad ato himam rishabham prabhur aryaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mr. Translation and purport is Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My transcendental body, Satcitananda Vigraha, looks exactly like a human form, but it is not a material human body. It is inconceivable. I am not forced by nature to accept a particular type of body. I take on a body by my own sweet will. My heart is also spiritual, and I always think of the welfare of my devotees. Therefore, within my heart can be found the process of devotional service, which is meant for the devotees. Far from my heart have I abandoned irreligion, adharma, and non-devotional activities. They do not appeal to me due to all these transcendental qualities. People generally pray to me as Rishabhadeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the best of all living entities. The purport I'll read in the four paragraph. So first paragraph I'll read, then I'll explain and go to another paragraph. Okay, Prabhu? Very good.
Yes, Prabhuji.
In this verse, the words idam sariram mama durvibhavyam are very significant. Generally, we experience two energies, material energy and spiritual energy. We have some experience of the material energy, that is earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Because in the material world, everyone's body is composed of these elements. Within this material body is a spirit soul, but we cannot see it with the material eyes. When we see a body full of spiritual energy, it is very difficult to understand how spiritual energy can have a body. It is said that Lord Rishabhadeva body is completely spiritual. Therefore, for a materialistic person, it is very difficult to understand. For a materialistic person, the completely spiritual body is inconceivable. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanastalakayam Chakshuru Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Idinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadharini Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Prabhuji, you can unmute yourself. Yes, Prabhuji.
In the first para, the Lord, in the purport, Prabhupada explained about the jiva, the quality of jiva. In total purport, we are divided into 4 parts. The first is the quality of jiva, the quality of the Lord, and who cannot understand the Lord, and the description of spiritual world. All this Prabhupada mentioned in this purpose. We'll go by one. So here, in the translation, the 3 important words Prabhupada mentioned in the translation. First is the Lord is transcendental body, Satcitananda Vigraha. The second is his heart also very spiritual. And third is abandon all religion activity. That is non-devotional activity. So in the purport, here we can understand the 2 types of Krishna Katha. One is Lord is telling about himself, that is Bhagavad Gita. The second is the devotees are telling about Krishna. But here it is one, the Lord is telling about himself. When Bhagavad Gita also many sloka, Krishna is explaining about himself, his qualities, his attributes, everything. So here, Rishabhadeva said, I will not, in my heart is very pure, there is no religion in my heart. So here, Prabhupada mentioned the purport. The materialistic person cannot understand, those who are attached to the body himself, the thing, the body himself, they cannot understand the Lord. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 84 chapter, 13th sloka, it says, Prabhupada always quote this sloka. Eshasma buddhi kunapet dhatuke sadik kalatra bhoma ijyadik yatita buddhi salinena karihichit jane sabineshu saveha kokaraha yasatma buddhi kunapet dhatuke. So the buddhi dhatuke means the 3 basic elements is made of the body. But they're thinking that their body himself, if we're thinking like that, we go to any holy places, even though you are going to holy places, you will not get anybody because your consciousness is not pure. It is covered by material elements. So they are equal to cow and ass. Saveva Gokaraha. So in Hitopanishad also says same thing. This also Prabhupada quotes many times. But this sloka is very, very important sloka for us. Ahara bhaya maitunam cha samanam eta pasubhitaranam dharmohi tesho adhiko vishesho dharmeni hina pashub samana. Those who are not following the religious principle, they are pashubit samana. Ahara nitra bhaya maitunam cha. This all the things, even animals they do. And what is they cannot do? They cannot do their dharma. So, if we don't follow the dharma given by the Lord, there are so many dharma. Prabhupada explained in his lecture. There are so many dharma. It is not approved by the Lord. They are creating their own dharma by mental concoction and speculations. We can see there are so many gadis are there in the Kali Yuga. They are speculating their own religion. They are all dharmini hina pushubuk samana. They are all equal to cow and ass. Pushu, animal. Those who create their own system, they are like an animal. But people are in Kali Yuga, they're attracted because it's very easy to follow. Why compared to other ISKCON, we have compared to the population of the world, ISKCON have minimum because it's very strict, following the principle of religion. Others, they are not following any principle. Like Prabhupada give example, people go to the silver shop or ever silver shop, many people. But the diamond shop, only few people can go because they have the capacity to buy. So those are intelligent personally can come to Krishna. So that's the reason for Prabhupada said it's very, very difficult to come to Krishna. So in Bhagaspati Samhita, one of the verse said, Ajnata Bhagavan Dharma Mantra Vijnana Samvitaha Narasteho Kharajneya Abhibhu Pala Banditaha. So here, the true intelligence is shown by one's freedom from false identification. This is true intelligence. We have to come from the false intelligence, that is, I am this body. This is false identification. The true identification is I am the spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. This is true identification. Jivena Surupa Nitya Krishna. This is true identification of the soul. But we are bound by the material element. We are thinking we are this body. So in this sloka, I mentioned men who do not know the principle of devotional service, that Bhagavad Dharma. That's what here Rishabhadeva is quoting. I am not, in my heart, there is no religion. So he is there in my heart always, this Bhagavata Dharma. So Ajnana Bhagavad Dharma, Mantra Vijnana Samvitaha. So the Lord Supreme Lord should be known as a cow and asses. Do not know devotional service, they are equal to cow and asses. Even if they are expert in technically analyzing Vedic mantras and are absorbed by world leaders. So we can say many people they talk about Vedas, but still they don't know who is the Supreme Lord. They are like a cows and asses. This is what Bhagaspati Samhita is mentioned. So in this first para, the quality of Jiva, and the next para will analyze what is the quality of the Lord. So here the quality of the Lord is He is source of everything. The Lord is source of everything. The second is He is unattached. Even though He created the whole Brahmanda, He is unattached. We can see from the when Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, he unattached. Then he went to Dwaraka. And the third quality of the Lord, He is a maintainer of all living beings, not only human, even the animals. All living beings maintained by the Lord. The fourth quality is He is above three modes. He is Shukta Sattva. And fifth one is He is the main master of all material nature. He is the master of all because He created, He is a creator. And what is the quality of Jiva? There's only one quality. We have spiritual spark in our body, or senses, spiritual senses, but it covered with the material elements. Kunapetu Dhatuke. The five material, earth, water, air, ether, mind, pulse, intelligence. This is the material element. It is covered. The spirit spark spiritual was covered by the material element. That's not when we are able to see the Lord, understand the Lord. That's the reason Prabhupada always say we have to awaken the spiritual Krishna consciousness. It is dormant, it is there in everyone's heart. We have to awaken that. Like Kumbhakarna was sleeping, so all the people of Sri Lanka, they took so much drum, so much big drum to awakening, to wake up Kumbhakarna. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here. Krishna himself, he descended to the Kali Yuga, the material world, to awaken the sleeping soul by Sankirtana Yajna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are all Kumbhakarnas, sleeping in the lap of Maya. Kota Nitra Java, Vichasira Soli. We are sleeping in the lap of Maya. And Mahaprabhu descend from the Goloka Vrindavan to awaken all the spiritual soul by Sankirtana movement. The Sri Sankirtana is very important. Now all the covered by the spiritual covered by the material element, it will be removed. So, how we can see the Lord? By, in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji is explained, Prema Janaturita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshi Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundra Chintya Gunaswarupam Govindavadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So we have to put Prema Janaturita Bhakti Vilochanena. Since we have material element, all senses have become material. So we have to apply Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. We have to apply the prem, the love of ointment to eyes. So when Arjuna wanted to see the Vishnu in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna has told him that you cannot see me with these eyes. We have to have Jnana Sakshishu. We should have spiritual eyes to see me. Then Krishna bestowed his mercy to see his Vishnu Rupa. So this chance is for everyone. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, through his books, we can see Krishna. By Prema Jana Charita Bhakti Vilochane. So what they do? All the Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshi Vilokayanti. Always the devotees, the Santa Sadaivans, always Hridayeshi Vilokayanti. They see the Lord in their heart. That is a special quality of the devotee. The pure Santa, the pure devotee. So even in Vrindavan Leela, there's one devotee, I forgot the name, he lost his height. But every day Krishna is coming and serving him, giving him milk, giving him some fruit. But finally he could understand this is Krishna himself. He was serving the devotee. The Lord asked, Krishna asked him, you want the eyes? He said, I don't want this material eyes. I want, because already I am seeing it from my heart. This is Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Viloka. Viloka means seeing the Lord within your heart. What does seeing? Yam Shama Sundara Achinta Guna Swarupa. They are seeing the Lord Shama Sundara in their heart. Govindavadi Purusham Tamaham Bhaja. So only by through loving devotion service only we can see the Lord. That's what even Rishabdeva mentioned in the sloka. Prabhupada also mentioned the purpose. So the quality of the soul, it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, 7th sloka. Mavivamsa Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Saratana Manashastra Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So, Mayavamsa, all the souls are part and parcel of the Lord. Mayavamsa, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta, Sanatan, they are eternal. Mana Shastra Indriyani, but bound by material nature, the material elements. Prakritisthani, Karshati, struggling with the six senses, including the mind. So, even though we are spirit soul, we are not able to understand the Lord because of the material covering. We have to remove the material covering to understand the Lord by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So here in this material world, we are so engrossed in the material activities because we receive only the material knowledge. Why Prabhupada always emphasize distribute my books, because through books they get spiritual knowledge. In the material world, we get only material knowledge. It will perishable. It will go one day. When you leave the body, all the knowledge will go. Where is Newton? Where is Edison? Everything gone. But still we have the spiritual knowledge. And what is the difference between material knowledge and spiritual knowledge? It is analyzed by Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto. So, we have to come out from the material knowledge and we have to go to the spiritual knowledge, to go to spiritual world. Here, Prabhupada also explained about the spiritual world. So, how we can go? By comparison. So, this is called Apara Vidya. The material knowledge is Apara Vidya and spiritual knowledge is Para Vidya. What is the difference? In Apara Vidya, the research oriented. Today they'll say something, tomorrow they'll say something, they'll change the whole description. Even our textbooks change every year. Science changes. It is only research oriented, but the Para Vidya, it is result oriented. When you read, we get the knowledge. When you chant, we get the love of Krishna. It is result oriented. We can practically experience how we are before, how we are now. Even though we are engineers, we are doctors, we had so many knowledge, but how the Paravidya transform our consciousness? So, by Aparavidya, we get lifestyle. Now we see Ambani, many billionaires, trillionaires are in the world. They have a lot of properties, cars, bungalows. Yes, material knowledge gives lifestyle, but spiritual knowledge, the Paravidya gives life for us. That is eternal. Without life, what is the use of all these things? There is a difference. The third difference is quantity. When you have material knowledge, we get some bank balance, we accumulate some wealth. Even people take some bribe. By cheating, they get money. They're using the material knowledge to how to cheat others. By Paravidya, spiritual knowledge, what happens? We get quality. We know that we should not cheat others. We get the quality of life. That is very important in quantity. All the santas, the devotees, they are very satisfied what they have. There's a difference. So there are many aspects are there. I will go to So here, in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned about the material body. The acronym for the body, BODY, B for birth. The body takes birth. O for old age. We become old. Even though there are so many beauty parlors, there are so many things are there, even though is there, we have become old. We cannot stop old age. Then disease, D for disease. Each and every living being is struggling with the disease because we are not spiritual body. The spiritual soul is covered by material element. That's the reason we are getting disease. The B for birth, O for old age, D for disease. And all these, one day, who will come? Yamaraj. That is, that Yamaraj will come, we take the soul back. According to the karma, the soul reaches the destination. This is material body. So now we understood the quality of the soul, what the difference between Paravidya and Aparavidya. Even the second para we'll read now. Prabhupada mentioned the quality of the Lord. The first para he mentioned about the quality of the soul, Atma, our material body. And here he mentioned about the quality of the soul. We'll continue reading through. Okay. The para, second para, we have to accept the version of the Vedas when our experimental perception cannot understand a subject. As stated in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satcitananda Vigraha. The Supreme Lord as a body with form, but that body is not composed of material elements. It is made of spiritual bliss, eternity, and living force. By the inconceivable energy of the Supreme Personality Godhead, the Lord can appear before us in his original spiritual body. But because we have no experience of the spiritual body, we are sometimes bewildered and see the form of the Lord as a material. So this is the second para, the quality of the Lord. Here we can give many examples. The first example you see from Mahabharata, Duryodhana. Even though he's seeing the Lord, but he could not able to understand the Lord potency, his quality. For Arjuna, he could understand. So similarly, in the material world, people like Duryodhana, they cannot understand the Lord. People like Arjuna, they can understand the Lord. So even though Lord is Supreme Lord, is appearing in this world. Why? To give his mercy to the devotee. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord explained in the chapter 4, so sloka 6, Ajopi Abhyahatma, Ajopi San, Abhyahatma Bhutalam Ishwaro Abhisan. This Ishwaro Abhisan, Prakritim Sam Adhisthaya, Sambhavami Atma Maya. So, even though the Ajopi is unborn, is Abhyahatma, imperishable, is eternal, is Bhutanam Ishwaro, is master of all the things, the Lord. So he is appearing because his own Shakti, Atma Maya, Sambhavami, Atma Maya is appearing by my own yogic power. This is the quality of the Lord. We take birth, the Lord appears. That's the difference. We take birth according to our karma, but Lord appears according to his sweet will. Ajopi, Sanya Abhyahatma, Bhutanam Ishwaro Abhisan. He is appearing by his own sweet will. But we are not appearing our own sweet will. Who is selecting our father and mother? We are not selecting. According to the karma, we are taking birth. But Lord is selecting his father and mother. I want to appear through this devotee, Yashodamaya, or Devaki, Prishni Garbha, like that. So he is appearing by his sweet will. Also, Lord explained in Bhagavad Gita how when he appeared, what will be his quality. Can you remember the sloka? It is from chapter 4, text number 9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatpataha tekpadegam punarjanma neti mame. So Arjuna, he said, one who knows my janma karma cha me divyam, my appearance and actions are very, very transcendental, divyam. Evam yoveti tatpataha, those who understand this tattva, Tekpadegam Punarjanma, by upon leaving this body, Neti Mamita Sarja, oh Arjuna, they will never take birth again in this material world. To understand this tattva, how the Lord appears, how he how the activities are in this material world, how he creates this material world. So this is Divyam. Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Each and every activity is Divyam. So by understanding this, what is the benefit? Tekpadegam Punarjanma Neti Mamaitu Sarjana. There is no birth again in the material world. See, the process already given by the Lord. Just understand me, my activity and appearance, you will come back to me. To understand this, we have to read books. We have to study Srimad Bhagavata. Otherwise, how you can understand the Lord's activity? So Prabhupada give example. People say God is great, but how God is great? It's mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Just telling God is great, there's no benefit. But how God is great, to understand this, that's the reason we have to read Srimad Bhagavatam, study Srimad Bhagavatam, understand Bhagavad Gita, how Lord himself explained about himself. So I'll go to the third para. Here Prabhupada mentioned who cannot understand the Lord. The third para Prabhupada mentioned the Mayavadi philosophers are completely unable to conceive of a spiritual body. They say that the spirit is always impersonal. And whenever they see something personal, they take it for granted that it is material. In Bhagavad Gita 9:11, it is said, Avajananti mamuda manusham tanavasutam param bhavam ajanantu mama bhuta mageshwaram. Who realized me when I descend in the human form? They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominant over all that be. Unintelligent people think that the Supreme Lord accepts a body composed of material energy. We can easily understand the material body, but we cannot understand the spiritual body. Therefore, Rishabhadeva says, Idam Sariram Mama Durvibhavyam. In the spiritual world, everyone has a spiritual body. There is no conception of material existence there. So here, Prabhupada mentioned about who cannot understand. First person is the Mayavadi. The second is unintelligent people. They think when Lord descends to the world, he is also material body only. They are unintelligent and they are Mayavadi philosophers. So here, Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita also you can say, there are many millions of people are in this material world. Manusharam sahasresu kachit edadisiddhaye Idatam abhisiddhanam kachit mam veti tattvataha. Here also Lord is mentioned tattvataha. Janma karma cha medhyam evam yoveti tattvataha. Here also Krishna says tattvataha. Tat vidhi pranipatane pranipakshana tevam upadenshi tejnanam jnanavam tattva darshanaha. See, every word Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 or 6 places mentioned tattvataha, tattvataha. That means we have to understand the tattva. So many people are in the material world, Manasaram Sagasreshu. But how many people understanding Krishna, the tattva, how he appeared, how his activities are? So there are very, very few. So in the out of 1,000 or 1,000, only one can understand Krishna. That is, those who are in this connection to Srila Prabhupada can only understand this tattva, because Prabhupada gives each and every purport very crystal clear. So you're all, out of billions of people, you are one, because we are able to understand Krishna, but we are trying to understand more and more. This is what is this third para explained, who cannot understand. We go to 4th para. Here Prabhupada mentioned about the spiritual world. So in the whole purport, you can see how step by step the Prabhupada taking us to the spiritual world. First he is explaining about the material body, and second he explained about what is the Lord, the spirit soul, the Supreme Lord. Third, who cannot understand Krishna? And fourth, how we can go back to spiritual world. And what is the description of spiritual world? I'll read the purport. In the spiritual world, there is only service and the receiving of service. See, there is only Sevaya, Seva and Sevaka. The person served, that is Krishna. The process of service is the devotional service. And the servant is a devotee. There are only 3 things that exist in the spiritual world: Sevaya, Seva and Sevaka. These 3 items are completely spiritual, and therefore the spiritual world is called absolute. There is no tinge of material contamination there. Being completely transcendental to the material conception, Lord Rishabhadeva states that his heart is composed of dharma. Dharmas explained Bhagavad Gita 1866, Sarva Dharman Parityakya Mamekam Sharanam Vaja. In the spiritual world, every living entity is surrendered to the Supreme Lord and is completely on the spiritual platform. Although they are servitors, they served and service. All are spiritual and variegated. At the present moment, due to our material conception, everything is durvibhava, inconceivable. Being the Supreme Lord is called Rishabhadeva, the best. In terms of the Vedic language, Nityo Nityanam. We are also spiritual, but we are subordinate to Krishna, the Supreme Lord. He is the foremost living entity. The word Rishabha means the chief or the supreme and indicates the supreme being or God himself. Hare Krishna. That's the end of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here, explain about the Bhagavan and Bhakta and Bhakti. That is Sevya, Seva and servant. Sevya, Seva and Sevaka. That is Bhagavan, Bhakta and Bhakti. They are inseparable. Wherever Bhagavan is there, Bhakta will be there. Wherever Bhakta is there, Bhakti will be there. So they are inseparable. So the Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, very, very simple formula, how one can go to Krishna. Very, very simple formula. Yat kuroshi yadatnasi yajjagoti tatasayat tat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat purus madhavarpanam. He said, O Sanaputi, all that you yat kuroshi yadatnasi, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all authorities like that you may perform, should be done as an offering to me. By this activity, one can go to spiritual world. This is what Krishna needed? No, this we need it actually. By this process, we get purification. By purification, we go back to Krishna. So also here, Seva, as the devotional service explained, by only devotional service, the Seva, one can go to Krishna. So, how to develop devotional service? So one time, Prabhupada was traveling, he was just walking from the temple, he was about to go to his car. One devotee ran to Srila Prabhupada, he came to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, how to focus on your devotion? Please tell me how to focus on a spiritual path. Prabhupada said only one word, absorption. Observe what you do. Observe when you chant. Observe when you read. Observe when you're in the temple. So, I'll give three simple formula how to develop devotional service. So, attract leads to attachment. We should have attracted towards Krishna, to read his Bhagavatam, to understand Bhagavad Gita. Attraction leads to attachment. Then attachment leads to absorption. When you attach only, we can be absorbed. But without develop attachment, how you can be absorbed? That's the purpose of observe. Absorption is very important, key factor in our devotional life. So after absorption, what will happen? After absorption, it becomes attention, leads to attention. We become very focused. When you don't observe what you do, you don't no attention. So absorption leads to attention. Attention, when attention leads to our destination. That is going back home, back to God. So we have to develop attraction towards Krishna. We are distracted by material body, material elements. So by chanting the holy name, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, what happens? We get attraction towards the Lord. Then we get attachment. By attachment, we absorb in the Lord's activity, His Leela, His service. By absorption, we become focused at attention. By attention, we become the destination of going back home, back to God. So, and finally, I'll just conclude with this. So, one devotee asked his Holiness Japtak Maharaj, how do you know we are advancing? There is anything, we have thermometer, we have stethoscope, is there? How do you know there is any devotional meter is there? Yes, we have devotional meter. That is 3 devotional meter we have. One is, first meter is taste. We are tasting prasadam. Apparently we taste prasadam because remnants of the Lord. But or we have taste for chanting the holy name. Or we have taste for studying Srimad Bhagavatam. The tattvata evam yoveti tattvata, to understand the philosophy. Or we have a taste to understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. This is first meter. The second meter is satisfaction. Are we satisfied what we have? Or we are hankering for many things in the material world? There's a second meter. The third meter, he said, strength. What is the strength? No material anchoring. We are totally absorbed in Krishna conscious activity, no material anchoring. Whatever Krishna gives, I'll accept it. No anchoring. I will do this, I will do that. No anchoring. We should have anchor to do more and more devotional service. Yes, I want to do this, I want to do this for Srila Prabhupada. This strength do we have? This is the meter for are we how to we are advancing or not. Like a proper example of prasadam. When you eat prasadam, what happens? We get taste, we get satisfaction, correct? And we get nourishment, strength also. Similarly, when you want to advance in spiritual life, so these 3 meters you should check always. Taste, satisfaction, and strength. That's the reason why Bhagavata is so important for us. That's the reason we said Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Why is so important? The scriptures give us a 4, 5D. Yes, please note down. This class I given long back in Bahrain. I'm just sharing this. The scriptures gives 5D. First is discipline. You have to wake up early in the morning, you have to chant the holy name. It's keep discipline. How Prahlad, when you read Dhruva's life history, is part of their activities, we get disciplined life. Then by reading Bhagavatam, studying Bhagavatam, we get direction where to go. This is second D. The third D is we know who director. Who is the director? Krishna is the director. So we're following all the discipline, direction, director, and we know how to take a decision in your life. Yes, I want to focus on the spiritual life without any deviation. We focus, proper took decision. That's the reason we are here in ISKCON now. We take a decision to propagate his mission all over the world. By all these things, what happens? We get final, as mentioned in the earlier. We get the destination, that is going back home, back to God. So that's the reason the books are basis of a spiritual life. It's the foundation of a spiritual life. Without foundation, whatever tree we plant, it will fall down one day. So knowledge is the Prabhupada wrote many books without even he totally he didn't sleep also sometimes. Why he sacrificed? Because the knowledge is give us the foundation. It gives us discipline, it gives us a direction, it gives a director, and decision. Finally, we reach our destination. This is real GPS. So when you put a map in your vehicle or mobile, after reaching it, you reach your destination. You say finally. Correct, no? Similarly, after studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we will reach our destination, going back home, back to God, and we will see Krishna face to face. This is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. By his mercy, everyone is having the chance to see Krishna face to face. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji. A wonderful dissection of Srila Prabhupada's beautiful purport, Prabhuji. So many points you brought up. Basically, how to see the Lord. I just noted on some very important points where you said how to see the Lord, when we have to have the love ointment, Premanjana Charita Bhakti. and also how, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have got this love ointment in the form of the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and the devotees as well. And because we are bound by the material world and by the six senses. And then you also give a difference of the apara vidya and paravidya. Those three differences that you could beautifully understanding. And in the purport, you also mentioned how material body is there, and then Prabhupada also mentions about the spiritual form of the body, the Lord's body, where Duryodhana could not understand by when he saw the Divya, the Virat Rupa. And you said who, and also Prabhupada, you mentioned about how Prabhupada talks about who cannot understand the Lord. There are the Mayavadis, the unintelligent people. But the most important thing is we can understand by learning the Tattva. And Krishna stresses on point where very 5 places I think he mentioned Tattvataha. So we need to understand the Tattva. And the description of the spiritual world is also there where the Seva, Sevaya, and Sevaka, which is definitely inseparable, all these 3 things. And you may simplify it by saying how we can achieve this is by the Yat Karoshi Yad, in which Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita. And the wonderful piece that you made in today's class was this 3. Attraction leads to attachment leads to absorption, and absorption leads to attention. And the culmination of the entire class was where the 5 Ds, where discipline, direction, we understand who's the director, so that we can take a decision to reach the destination. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. I will unmute the lines. Yes, I have unmuted lines. Devotees can ask their questions, thoughts, comments.
Hare Krishna, Satcitananda Prabhu, Narat Pranam.
Mute. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Maharaj.
wonderful thing, Prabhu. If you really want to get the acronym, you should go to Satcitananda Prabhu. Body. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhu, no doubts, only comments.
Hare Krishna.
Excellent acronym you have given for the destination to going back, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
So it is like our transport minister, Nitin Karkari, he made 6 lanes or 8 lanes so that we can smoothly reach a destination. Similarly, Prabhupada made so many lanes for us. This is a Bhagavatam lane. Just take the lane and go very fast to Shivan Lord. Fast lane it is. Super fast lane.
And beauty is we can take any lane road, still reach.
Yeah. So Prabhupada made special lane for us. Bhagavatam. Through this lane we can go back to Lord very fast. Right.
Prabhuji, I had one small thing in the 5 Ds, Prabhuji. In fact, for me, the first D itself is a roadblocker for me. The discipline piece. Could you just elaborate, Prabhuji, how as sadhakas we can practice discipline so that the other Ds are easier?
Yes, Prabhu. Very wonderful question, Prabhu. Yeah, a disciple means discipline. We are a disciple of our Guru. So disciple, the first qualification of disciple is the discipline. Without discipline, he cannot be disciple. So the discipline means Prabhupada gives small things to how we can be disciplined by waking early in the morning, chanting our wrong. It's a very simple process, actually. By following, we become absorbed in our activities. So it is not 1 day or 2 day process. We have to practice every day. So like we go to school, when you take your child to school first day, child will start crying, I will not go, so I will not go to school. Like correct, no, Prabhu? Similarly, when you want to become disciplined, the senses will not allow we'll take some sleep, little more, we'll chant afterwards. You're like a child. It will behave like a child. But even though child is behaving like that, parents will force to go to school. 1 day will cry, 2 days will cry, 3 days will cry, 4 day, 1 week, 1 month will cry, second month become slowly will become settled in that the condition, the discipline, what they required in the school. Similarly, because our soul is covered by the material element, this distraction will be there. But slowly, when he forced to follow the things, slowly become disciplined in our spiritual life. So, for example, when Prabhupada started this movement, how many of them are very disciplined? No one, actually. To take exam, no one was disciplined. But Prabhupada, by forcing them, they give them discipline for them. Prabhupada used to do Mangalarati, then Srimad Bhagavatam class, chanting the holy name of the Lord, giving class. By following Prabhupada's order, they are become very disciplined disciples. We are all undisciplined disciples. We are just like a disciple, but we are undisciplined disciples. When you become disciplined disciple, the Guru will give his unlimited mercy. That's the reason we have to become very disciplined to understand the spiritual life. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. Very important point you made is to force ourselves. That's a very nice point. Yeah. I heard there was some analogy given about taming, how a circus, that person who tames the tiger,
lion,
tames the lion, yeah. So by keeping him hungry, and then finally he has to relent. So thank you so much for everything.
We are like a child, Prabhu. What to do? Ghost them ourselves.
Brat, probably.
Very good.
Any further questions, comments, or thoughts? Anybody?
Thank you all very much. Very well.
Yes, I think we'll end with the Vaishnava names. Vanchakalpatarunya's Kripasidbhyo Vaishnavibhyo Anantakoti Vaishnava.
Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gur Premanande. Hari Hari. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam.